How do we emotionally reconcile recognizing that there are so many people in need and suffering, but still be able to have joy and ease in our own lives? I feel so stable and comfortable, even with a very modest income, but still feel guilty for living my life when I know that there are others out there suffering so much.
This is our basic policy that if we gain peace ourselves, but, we know that there's so many peaceless people in the world, then our own peace gets kicked around like a football by the concept of the peacelessness of others. And this is a natural human condition. You wouldn't be able to sit in a window seat of a restaurant eating a delicious gourmet meal with right on the other side of the glass, watching a family outside in the cold, starving. No rational human could ever experience such a thing and not feel as though they had to do something about what they saw. So this is very human, what you're describing, and it's the right thing. Now we have to think, what is the best thing I can do for others? If I see somebody crying and weeping, and I begin to fall into crying and weeping as well, then there was one person weeping, now there are two. Somebody else comes along and they begin to cry and weep, and now there are three people crying and weeping, and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and so on. We could have that multiplier effect that if we, decide that we are not going to bring an end to our suffering because other people are suffering, then all we're doing is we're adding to the world level of the coherence of suffering. Suffering starts to become a trend in the collective. Somebody has to rise up out of the suffering and then go and do something effective about the suffering that they see. And so we need to look at everything we're doing, left, right, up, down, backwards and forwards, and front and behind, in every direction. What am I doing that is helping in any way to bring an end to the suffering of other people as quickly as possible? And this is, generally speaking, one of the initial inspirations for people wanting to become initiators of Vedic meditation. It certainly was mine. I remember, the idea that I was going along very well. I was a teenager when I learned to meditate, and I was going along very well and enjoying things very much. And just like you, I was critically aware of world scale levels of suffering in the 1960s when I first embarked on this. And it seemed to me the most effective thing I could do was to become a teacher so that, and to, as time went by and I became more and more qualified to do so, to train other teachers so that we could deliver the techniques of the use of full mental potential to everyone. The very best gift we can give anybody is to give them the gift of meditation, to bring about an end to their using only 2% of their brain's available computing power, to open up their creativity, to open up their capacity to step out of the ever repeating known, to open up their eyes to see opportunities, to release the stresses that have accumulated through a life of suffering so that they're not living their daily life completely constricted by stress. And this improved health that comes with that, improved immune status that comes with that, then that person is equipped really to tackle whatever possible opportunities might come their way. And then there's, of course, other things we can do in addition to this. So many things that we could do, but they all involve perhaps, shaking your own level of ever repeating known, giving that a shake. And that is to say, stepping outside the ever repeating known means embracing change in your personal life with enthusiasm, without knowing exactly where that change is going to go, but nonetheless, using your meditator's brain to know that I can step into the helping of others because I have enormous adaptation energy and stability, and I can bring what I am to any situation. And so each of us does need to be looking at this very, very clearly. And it's one of the things that meditation notoriously does. It makes you feel so good in your daily life that it occurs to you that those most people around you are not experiencing this. They don't have the ability to experience it. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the techniques. And so then if we can become someone who can give that knowledge, not just be someone who can recommend or refer, but who can say, check in with me tomorrow. We'll start the introductory process. I'll have you meditating within a few days. That is really the greatest thing that we can bring. But if for some reason we can't bring that, or it doesn't feel as though it's our calling, then we do need to feel into what is it about this world right now? What specific areas are there that when you hear about those areas, it kind of breaks your heart? If you're experiencing that, then you need to go to whatever that area is and bring your freshly meditated brain, twice a day meditating brain, into the mix of bringing solutions to those problems and helping people to rise above suffering. This is something that is important for each one of us to resolve in our lives.